Hey, and welcome back to the Relationship School's Smart Couple podcast and show. How are we doing today? The Smart Couple Quote Book is going to hit you right between the eyes in late November. And it is full of nuggets that are pretty ridiculous. Okay, so look, a lot of us don't have a ton of time to plow through a big, dense relationship book, but we do have time to open to page 56 and just bust out a 5-sentence quote that's going to be like, whoa. It's going to help you reframe your day and how you see your partner that day, or how you see yourself. So stay tuned for that, okay? Excellent. All right, this is the Ask Me Anything episode, and I've got a good one here from Alex in Michigan in the United States. What's up, Alex? I want to ask both you and your wife's opinion here. Do you think I'm in an emotionally abusive relationship? Now, I'm going to read you Alex's question that's a little deeper, the deeper cut of it, and why don't you answer this yourself as you listen. Okay, a little background. I've been with my husband for 11 years and married for 6. We have 2 kids, 4 and 2. The beginning of our relationship was hot, but sometimes volatile. We both grew up and things were pretty good for a while. Then we had kids. Since then, my husband's anxiety and stress has been at an all-time high, and he snaps at both the kids and I for no reason all of the time. Notice people's language, all of the time, always, never. He snaps at the kids for no reason all of the time, right? Right there is your sign that you're dealing with someone who has a really unrealistic view of how things actually are. I really doubt your husband is snapping at the kids all of the time. That means every time he talks, he's snapping at the kids, okay? And she goes on. His fuse is just too short. He says we're not on the same page, but really, he just wants me to be on his, especially when meltdowns are occurring with our kids. If our kids are screaming, he's usually screaming at me because I've done something wrong. Screaming. Not yelling, screaming. That's interesting, right? Either not fed them enough, trust me, my kids are very well nourished, or kept them up too late or something. Instead of saying, excuse me, he'll say, move. He literally talks to me like I'm a dog. So last night, this is what happened. My kids and I were sitting down eating dinner. He got home from work, grabbed a plate, and came to join us. I finished and got up to take a shower by myself for 10 minutes. My 2-year-old tried to follow and got intervened by the gate at the bottom of the stairs. He stood there screaming for at least 5 minutes as I waited for my husband to get him. I guess that's the kid screaming for 5 minutes. I then said from upstairs, can you try distracting him or something? To which he replied in a haughty, disrespectful, yelling tone, why don't you just get in the shower and quit talking? Later he said this, what I meant was X gets upset when he hears your voice. I guess the kid gets upset when he hears your voice and you just disappear. It's better. I told him that if I would have said that, I wouldn't have completely lost it and yelled that I'm so tired of being disrespected in my own home that I'm ready to leave. And it goes on and on. And then she's saying, I realize I'm part of this too, but I am his cheerleader, his friend, his rock, his everything. I'm so tired of being his emotional support for everyone and getting shit on in return. I burned myself out. Please help my family. Okay, so is she in an abusive relationship? Yes or no? That's her question. Do you think that I am in an emotionally abusive relationship? Yes or no? It's pretty intense, right? I think so. My answer would be yeah. And you're part of it. So, look, guys, I did a much longer, deeper dive on abusive relationships in episode 92. Go to relationshipschool.net podcast 92 to listen to that episode. All right. And there's some telltale signs we're in abusive relationships. And I think there's one main sign, all right? There's one fundamental sign that you're in some kind of emotionally, verbally, physically abusive relationship. And that is the fact that you don't feel safe in your own home. If you don't feel safe on a regular basis, chances are you're in somewhat of an abusive relationship. And there's a bunch of different ways to talk about safety. So this could get complicated, but I think it's just easy enough to just use the rule of thumb. Do I feel safe in my own home? If you can't say yes, you're in a relationship that is hurtful, scary, painful, and that's the alarm bells to do something about it, right? Time to take action. The obvious thing is, just leave the relationship. It's much harder for people that are in abusive relationships to leave, just leave, because they're getting something out of it and they're hooked in and they're trying to heal some old injury. So it's actually a lot more complicated than just leave the relationship. But the way you're talking about screaming, he puts you down, the way he talks about your kids, that all sounds like an unsafe, verbally mostly, and you could say emotionally unsafe environment. And yet some of the things you're talking about yourself is just the way you're blaming him. That's what I hear, is a lot of blame. It doesn't sound like you have a lot of responsibility here. So I want to challenge you, Alex, to take more responsibility. You do at the very end, you're a part of this too. Well, how are you a part of it? How exactly are you a part of it? And you're saying, I'm tired of being everything, but I'm also like, I'm his cheerleader, his friend, his rock, so on and so forth. So see all the ways you're still invested in someone hurting you. I will be the person who's hurting me the most. I'll be their cheerleader. They can disrespect me, they can be mean to me, and I'll still be the cheerleader. That says a lot about you and how much you value yourself or don't value yourself. So as always here on The Smart Couple, we're in the game of helping people take responsibility, 100% responsibility, so that you can have the relationships you want. You can't sit and point the finger at other people and hope that they'll change to get your great relationship. It's just not the way to do it, right? That's the ignorant way. Okay, that's what I got for you, Alex. And please listen to episode 92. Okay, much deeper dive, lots and lots of questions on abusive relationships there that should provide further guidance. Okay, good. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And if you want a deeper dive, as usual, join the Relationship School Roots community, where you get to practice with me and Jennifer, one of my students and coaches, every couple of weeks. And you get real deal practice, all right? That's going to help you change the way you do your patterns. It's going to be hard to have a new relationship if you don't change your patterns, all right, in yourself. Just keep, hitting repeat, and the disc keeps skipping, tick, 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 until you wake up out of that trance. So take more action, folks. If you want a bigger result, take even more action. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Talk soon.